Hi everyone, I went and renewed my library card. You have to renew it every year, so I took a piece of paper, billing, something with my address on, and my ID card and the library card, and I went to renew it. And I was looking around, they did it nicely, but like I was telling you, Bibles and our religious things are going to be coming in short supply. They don't carry the library here, doesn't carry Bibles anymore. They used to have a nice wide selection, so I used to go in sometimes and sit there and do comparison reading. But I have my Bible at home, so I'm not too worried about that. But it's just to let people know that take it seriously. You're not always going to have access to the scriptures in the public spaces, in our libraries, in our public spaces, and unless we ask for it, they're not going to bring it in. So it's just something to take note of. If you use this library here, Lock Library, they don't have them anymore. I'm going to do my reading for today and my reflection on the scripture. And today I'm not going to use the readings from the missal. I'm going to focus on the gift of discernment. And there's a message that our Pope had given, Pope Francis, Rebuking the Devil. This is one of his books that I had bought. And it's just a short message, so I'm going to read it. It's the authentic peace of Jesus. At work, in tasks, the challenge is to find that peace, which means that the Lord accompanies you, that the Lord is close. And there is also another challenge, to know how to distinguish the peace of Jesus from another kind of peace, which is not of Jesus. Do you understand? This is something that you must learn well, and ask the Lord for the grace to know how to discern true peace from false peace. To discern. This is a challenge, and true peace always comes from Jesus. Sometimes it comes wrapped in a cross. The challenge for all of us, mine too, is always to seek the peace of Jesus, even in dark times, but the peace of Jesus, and to know how to distinguish it from that other false kind of peace, which in the end is dishonest. It ends badly and does not reward you properly. Jesus is a good payer. He pays well. He pays very well. This is from an address to the Eucharistic movement, and it's by Paul VI, Audience Hall, August 7, 2015. So I think that when we look at how to discern, we can have a false peace. We can just agree to everything that other people say we should do, other people say we should value, and just for the sake of keeping the peace. But that's a false kind of peace. And it's our responsibility to speak up if something is not right. It's our responsibility to say we don't agree with something. And it's our responsibility to discern. And if we're not formed in our discernment, if we can't distinguish what is true peace from false peace, we're just going to agree to anything. And that's the gift that comes from following the Lord. And it's even in today's scriptures where Pharisees come to Jesus and they tell him to leave a place. And he says that he's not going anywhere, he's staying. We have to be able to discern. Because even in our church, there's people that don't agree with me. There's people that do agree with me. That's part of our church. That's part of how the church changes and grows. I'm not the only one saying that we shouldn't have Muslim prayer rooms in our workplaces or at the Vatican in the library. I'm not the only one. There are many cardinals, priests, religious, lay people, professors that are all speaking out about it and that are saying we don't agree with it. And we don't, and we should speak out, whether it's to our parents or our grandparents or our siblings. We have that right to speak out and to say what we think and what we feel and what we think is right. And that's how we come to our own discernment and we come to our own decisions. And Jesus does pay well. Jesus does pay well. Jesus doesn't tell us go out and behead people. Jesus doesn't tell us go out and kill people and cut off their arms and cut off their legs and gouge out their eyes and rape people and kidnap them and destroy their parties and pay them the lowest wages possible so that your companies can make exorbitant amounts of money and profits while communities are crumbling. People can't put food on the table. People can't afford the basics. People are turning to food banks and relying on government handouts or have no income at all. Jesus doesn't tell us that. Jesus tells us to use our prayer to pray for our needs, to say, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation. That's what Jesus teaches us. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Those Pharisees were probably sent by Herod, and they were probably envious of Jesus. Jesus doesn't tell us going to the hospitals and kill people. He tells us to heal people. He tells us to make things better. He tells us to welcome those who are ostracized. And he doesn't tell us, go and tell people, it's okay, believe whatever you want. Did he say that? Did I ever hear in the Bible Jesus said, oh, you must preach tolerance and you must preach people that they shouldn't believe in me? Or did he say, I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no one will come to the Father except through me? That's what my Bible says. Maybe I read a false Bible. Or maybe the police will tell me, that's what your family said. You are the problem. You are delusional. I'm sorry, I do not go and worship in the Muslim prayer room, and I do not go and worship in the mosque. And if I go to the temple, I worship in front of the picture of Jesus. You ask Priyanka and ask Mr. Harry's children, Umesh and Sunil, what I do if I go into the Hindu temple. Ask them. They'll tell you. You have to be able to discern, especially for the young people who are coming up, who are going to be in our workplaces, who are probably already in the workplaces, or who are sitting at home. Even if you can't get a job, you can do what I do. You can pray at home. You can pray the rosary. You can pray from your heart, talk to God as you talk to a friend. You can join in the Divine Mercy at 3 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, the Marians have the rosary every day. It's on the internet. You can pray at home. You can pray for change to come. You can pray for things to get better. When things get better for us, things get better for everybody. Just look at what is happening to our world. Just look at it. What kind of insanity is it to say to people, you will rent and not own, and you will be happy. That's insanity. The Catholic Church doesn't even teach that. They teach that you should work, you should have your property, that your property is your possession. They teach you how to respect other people's rights, but they don't teach you that you shouldn't convert, you shouldn't spread the gospel, you shouldn't want Bibles. They don't teach you that. That's not my church. And if there's anybody teaching that, it's wrong. I will not support them having that Muslim prayer room in our Vatican library. I will not. I will not. And if the family if they say I'm wrong, they're wrong. I'm not wrong. If I was wrong, I wouldn't have become a spiritual director. I wouldn't have gone through 7 years of taking courses, going to night school, writing papers, doing discernments, doing reflections, and I wouldn't have been allowed to graduate. And the director who's running the Archdiocese of Toronto HR department, she's also wrong. She's telling me you have to get a job in the church to get a job. So how am I supposed to do that? I have decades and decades of volunteer work in the church, not just from here, from South Africa, from England, from Zimbabwe, and yet I still can't get a position in the church. Oh, they're crying out for people. So how come I can't get a position in the church? My vocation is not my mother's vocation. It's not my sister's vocation. It's not my brother's vocation. They don't have to go to church if they don't want to. It's my vocation, and it's my faith, and it's my desire to get that paid employment in the church and to get a PhD and to teach. They don't have to do it. So if they're keeping me out of a position in the church because of my family not going to church, that's wrong. That shouldn't be tolerated. It shouldn't, because it's not fair to me. I deserve to earn a living and to have my own income and to come up in life. It's not my responsibility to force anyone to go to church. Whether it's my sister or my brother or my cousins or my mother, it's not my responsibility. And it's not my responsibility to tell them to stop defending the Muslims. It's not. You talk to any young priest that is coming up in Toronto, that is being trained in Toronto, none of them are supporting the Muslims. None of them. Because they harass us, they get us out of our jobs. We are treated very, very badly. And don't think that people don't know what's happened to me. They know. All of these young priests that are coming up in this country, they know. And they don't hide it. They say to me, they are our enemies. We have to be nice to them. We have to love them because they are children of God, but they are our enemies. I should never have been taken to the police station. I should never have been accused of being fixated and obsessed with anybody. And the police should never have believed that. There was too much evidence in my favor. People were reprimanded at Credit Suisse, at HSBC, by the Toronto police. I should never have been subjected to that. It's mentally devastating when you are taken to the police station. It's unacceptable. And it's worse because they did it to me knowing that I'm a spiritual director. I am not paid what I should. If the Christians were running this country, I would be very well paid. I am not paid well in this country. I'm put in and out of jobs. I'm not given the support I should. I'm not given the training I should or the coaching I should. The only place I had coaching was at Teleperformance. Other than that, I ran things. I was the one giving the coaching. I was the one helping others to come up. What's happening to Canada is completely avoidable. And now they're saying that Mark Carney, after this budget comes out, they may call an election. I wouldn't be surprised. That's what people in England were telling us long ago. And we don't even have, we're going into a drought here. The farmers are crying. In Canada. In England too, there's not enough rain. We have to pray and we have to put our faith in the Lord and ask the Lord to have mercy on our countries. What they did by allowing the burqa and all this Muslim garbage and clothing and watching people live streaming the beheadings, why aren't they shutting that down? Why are they shutting down us posting the news and the weather on Facebook in Canada? Why aren't they taking those videos down? Why are they even allowed to live stream it? They've got the power to take that down, to take down our news, independent news. I couldn't even post the weather. Luckily, that piece was also on Facebook. This has been blocked by the government of Canada. Everything you try to post is blocked. Why can't they block that? Why can't they block the beheadings that are taking place live? Why can't they stop the jihadists going out onto the street and blocking the roads? But they have billions to shut down posting the news on our Facebook. There are millions of Christian women just like me who had very good fathers who were very staunch Catholics, and we are not going to shut up and do our jobs. We're not going to pretend that people are not getting hurt in the workplace like me and developing diseases that are completely preventable, like anxiety and high blood pressure, just because HR is spineless and will not put the right systems in place and can't fix our IDs and tell us don't report anything, just do your work. Even here in the condo, the police are telling people don't report anything. People are getting things stolen from them. And they're telling them don't report anything. Why? That's what I hear. That's what I heard from my neighbors. Why? I don't think they're coming in through the back doors. There's no way, unless they're climbing the walls and they're coming in. They're coming in through the front doors and then they're opening those back doors and leaving them open, making it seem like they came in through the back. That's what I think. It's not right what's happening in Canada. And if you think, oh well, it's only happening to you, when it's your turn and you sitting on those calls and you getting shouted at and you're developing high blood pressure and you're being told not to report anything, then you'll know how humiliating it is and how devastating it is and how horrible it is that you can't even get a decent job. And you try to renew your mortgage and you're told, no, we're not renewing it. And your income support has run out, so now you have nothing. It's not just happening to me. The unemployment rate is growing in this country, and the banks don't know what to do. They need to change their policies and stop supporting the Muslims and stop supporting the buying of FIFA. They need to start supporting people who are actually lifting up this country, doing the work, making things better for people. Do you think I liked going out with my colleagues and standing there? It was snowing. I told them you're not supposed to have emergency preparedness like this in the middle of the night. And if you do, you're supposed to arrange it so that it's inside a building, so we can go and meet in somebody's building, not have us stand in the cold. It's disgusting how we get treated. And that was at Teleperformance. I'm tired of sitting and crying. It's time people started waking up. You're persecuting us because we're Christians when we make things better for everyone. And all these Muslim friends of mine who are criticizing me, making fun of me, calling me a Zionist, you better be careful. You don't warn me to not say anything about the Muslims. You don't say anything about the Christians. People are not going to support you. Even all these people that got elected that are telling people, oh, you must drive with your eyes closed and get out of the towns of America. How rude. I hope they take them out of power. I hope they take them out of their political positions. That is not the way to treat the countries that brought you here and gave your families a place to stay. People like me work hard and we can't even buy a property. We can't even get jobs in our own Christian churches, and the Muslims are getting the jobs in the churches and the Hindus. Why don't they tell them to go and work for their own faith? I told Cardinal Collins also, it's not right. I have been applying for jobs in our Catholic Church since the day I came here, and there is no reason that I shouldn't have a job in the church. Absolutely none. You know why all the wages are poor? Because the Muslims are running the country and the communists. That's why.